My name is Lisa Pierce, and I'm with Alabama Rural Ministry. We want to welcome your team to ARM this summer. We are so excited that you're going to be here. So we wanted to tell you a little bit about our story, so as you come we can hear more about your story. But ARM started in 1998, and it started at the University of West Alabama in a little town called Livingston in the community of Sumter County. And really where it started was a vision of mine as a college student. And I don't know if you've ever had a vision or kind of a sense of what God may be calling you to, but I always kind of knew I might be called to service, and it just seemed like maybe a home repair ministry was going to be kind of the way that God would work in my life through that. And so I had finished Auburn University and moved to West Alabama to accept the position as the Wesley Foundation Director. And during the conversation with some of the leaders in the community, we just began to talk about this idea of some kind of home repair ministry. And because part of that was as a college student with the Wesley Foundation that I was a part of at Auburn, we had gone to different places like Appalachia and worked on homes for families in those communities in Kentucky and Virginia. And we would always come back to our communities in Alabama and say, you know what, we have the same type of needs here in Alabama. We have families that are elderly or on disability or maybe just on a limited income who can't repair a home or a roof when it's leaking, or maybe they need a wheelchair ramp, or there's a floor that's unsafe. And so could we do more to help them? And so that was a question. So when I moved to West Alabama, I began to see families that had needs like that also. And so we kind of had some conversation and some talks with some folks and said, hey, what if we could really start this? So we began to meet with some of the home health nurses in the Sumter County community who helped us identify a few families. And then we sent out some invitations to youth groups just like yours to say, hey, would you come spend a week with us and help with these families? And so in 98, the first teams arrived. And so we had about 4 work teams, and we worked on families, homes for about 8 families. And just had a great time. And God just really moved in some really, really neat ways, some incredible stories of how families got reconnected with God in those ways, and how they learned from groups like you, and how they were just encouraged in their faith. Well, about 2 years later, as we're kind of growing and ARM's expanding and we're doing a lot of home repair, we also noticed a lot of kids in our neighborhood. And I don't know about you, but most everybody loves kids, and they just didn't have a place to go in the summertime. There was no Boys and Girls Club. There was no other camps. And so we said, what if we start some kind of day camp ministry? And we'll teach them Bible stories, and they'll have some educational things, but we'll do arts and crafts and songs and recreation, and it'll just be a lot of fun. It's kind of like vacation Bible studies on, or vacation Bible school on steroids. And so we said, what if we do that? So in the summer of 2000, we started what we now call Sunshine Kids Day Camp. And so groups can not only come and do home repair, but they can also come and work with our day camps as well. And so that's how we've grown. Well, so we started in 98, and then in 2000 we had the day camp. By 2001, ARM has gotten so big that we really need another location for the summer to continue to do ministry. And by this time it's 2 full-time jobs, and so it was getting hard to do both the campus ministry work at the Wesley Foundation and do ARM full-time. And so we made a decision that we felt like was God's calling, and so I resigned at the Wesley Foundation to move over to East Alabama. And there we started our site with the Tuskegee Wesley Foundation and the Auburn Wesley Foundation, and basically the Macon County community and the Lee County community kind of doing the same thing, except this site in East Alabama would now run year-round throughout the year. And so we can host teams not only in the summertime, but we can also host them throughout the year. So now we have groups that come during spring break, during Christmas, and on some special event type days. And so it's really been neat seeing how God has just really expanded that. And now both of the day camps in Livingston and in Macon County have extended into after-school programs with the kids able to do tutoring and mentoring through some different partnerships that we have. So it's been a really neat journey that God has brought us along, but it wouldn't happen without groups like you. So we're very, very excited that you're coming to share your time with us. Both these communities have rich histories. I think you can learn neat things from them. Tuskegee has the Tuskegee Airmen, has Booker T. Washington, George Washington Carver as some of their historic figures. University of West Alabama is a historic teachers college, and so it started out as a women's college, and so again quite a bit of history there. So again, but we just know that you're going to spread and extend the love of Christ with our families and together as a team. And so thank you so much for coming. I hope that I will get to see you sometime during your journey, but if not, thank you again, and God bless.